Imagine being away from your homeland for decades, separated from family, loved ones, and a lifetime of memories. What would that feel like? Hello, and welcome to the Bhutan Outlook, where we explore stories that matter to Bhutan and beyond. Today, we discuss an issue that has gone unresolved for over 3 decades: family separation among resettled Bhutanese. For over 100,000 people of Nepali origin, known as the Lot Sampa in Bhutan, this has been their painful reality. Between 1989 and 1991, Bhutan's cultural integration policies, known as Driglam Namza, along with the newly introduced Citizenship Act, led to widespread protests, especially in the southern parts of the country. In response, the Bhutanese government cracked down on these protesters, forcing thousands to flee, either directly or indirectly, after labeling them as anti-nationals. Many were stripped of their citizenship and initially sought refuge in India before being relocated to Nepal, where they were granted refugee status with support from the UNHCR. While most of these individuals have since been resettled around the world, they continue to hold deep emotional connections to their homeland. Bhutan has consistently claimed that the majority of them left the country voluntarily and, as such, are no longer considered Bhutanese. Allowing them to return would contradict this long-standing narrative.
Many of them left, as I said, because they were illegal immigrants. We detected them. There are no basis to be here. Secondly, some of the ethnic Nepalese immigrated. They voluntarily. We are a peace-loving Buddhist country. We don't, one of the major problems we have in our cities today is the stray dogs. We don't have the heart to get rid of them. And how would we do this to fellow human beings, fellow citizens?
But here's the surprising reality. People do not simply walk away from their lives. Thousands do not leave their homes, their hard-earned properties, their loved ones, and the soil they call their country out of free will. Imagine this. In a single year, more than 85,000 men, women, children, and the elderly fled a nation their parents and grandparents helped build, brick by brick, stone by stone. They built roads through treacherous, malaria-infested forests. They established schools for future generations. They invested their entire savings into homes and businesses, believing they were creating a legacy. And they paid taxes for all these. Why would anyone abandon that?
घर सुत्ने पालन बनबनै सुते भिर सुते खोला खोलामा सुते पाखा पाखै सुते लोग्ने मान्छे जति दिन त्यसो गरे आइमै केटाकेटी डरले आउँछ राति आउँछ दैलो उगार्छ अनि के गर्नु हाम्रो घर लडायो छैन अब मान्छेको सबैको लडायो नि अलि ठुलठुलो घर चाहिँ सबैको लडायो धन सम्पत्ति सबै लगो खुडीबुडी जुम्मै टाकटुकै लगो गाई बस्तु सबै यत्तिकै हिँडेका हामी यत्तिकै आँखा नदेख्दा राति भागेका
And here's the most striking fact. Why did Western nations, the United States, Canada, Australia, and many others, choose to resettle them? These countries are selective when opening their doors, often prioritizing the young, skilled, and talented, those who can contribute to their IT sectors, medical fields, or economies. Yet, in the case of Bhutanese refugees, they made no such distinctions. They welcomed the old, the sick, the disabled, and those too young to contribute professionally. Why? Because they recognized these individuals for who they were, Bhutanese nationals who had been rendered stateless. Their resettlement was not an economic decision, but a profound commitment to humanity. Let's hear from UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres about the Bhutanese refugee resettlement.
The 100,000th refugee from Bhutan will soon depart on resettlement to begin a new life abroad. One of the world's most protracted refugee situations has become one of the largest resettlement operations in history.
The Bhutanese resettlement operation out of Nepal is a moving testament of human resilience and sustained hard work among many partners. It has allowed some 100,000 refugees to start new lives. It is a notable and inspiring outcome of effective interagency cooperation.
This reality should not be forgotten. For those who once called Bhutan home, the right to return, even as visitors, is not about contradicting history, but about acknowledging the truth. A home abandoned does not become a home forgotten. Although every country has the sovereign right to determine who may enter its borders, the situation in this case is uniquely different. These are former Bhutanese citizens whose families have been tragically torn apart either directly or indirectly. Parents separated from children, husbands from wives, and siblings from one another. The pain of such separation is unimaginable. Consider this painful scenario. Parents in Bhutan, after 30 long years of separation, take their final breaths with one last wish to see their resettled children. Yet those children, now living in countries like the USA, Australia, or Canada, are barred from returning to bid them farewell. Imagine the anguish of a grieving son or daughter, unable to return to Bhutan even for the simple but sacred act of performing their parents' funeral rites or post-funeral rituals lasting just 11 days. Now, picture elderly parents in remote Bhutanese villages, their frail eyes filling with tears as they wait in vain for the children they haven't seen in decades. Trapped by poverty, illiteracy, and visa restrictions, they remain isolated in their rural homes, unable to reunite with their loved ones living far away. The pain is felt by siblings too. One celebrates life's joys like weddings, graduations, or the birth of a child in a distant land, while the other sits in silence, unable to join even for cherished traditions like Dashain, Diwali, or Losar. This is not just about families separated by distance. It's the heartbreaking reality of loved ones kept apart by policies that deny them the chance to reunite. Invisible borders have become impenetrable barriers, leaving them to grieve silently across oceans. Bhutan needs to see this quiet suffering and recognize the deep human cost of these unyielding rules.
म त उमेर पनि गयो काम गर्ने अब काम गर्न पनि सक्दिनँ आँखा पनि देख्दिनँ अब बुढो भएपछि मलाई चाहिँ आफ्नो देशको सम्झना आयो बिस्तारी बिस्तारी लौरो टेक्दै भए पनि म जान्छु
The solution to this human tragedy is both simple and humane. Allow resettled Bhutanese to visit Bhutan on cultural or humanitarian grounds for weddings, births, funerals, and other significant life events. This is not a matter of politics, but one of humanity and dignity. Bhutan has an opportunity to create a structured and thoughtful tourist program to facilitate these visits while safeguarding its national priorities. Resettled Bhutanese look to Bhutan's fifth king, His Majesty Jigme Khesar Namgyel Wangchuk, with hope and optimism, recognizing his vision and wisdom as a transformative leader.
I don't feel tired. I don't feel scared of anything. We share a dream together, a dream of a bright future, where we take our legacy into the 21st century. We have much to look forward to, sir.
These words resonate deeply, reminding Bhutanese diaspora of the boundless potential that unity and shared aspirations can unlock. His guidance can pave the way for Bhutan to embody compassion and reconciliation, fully upholding the principles of gross national happiness. True happiness, after all, must include unity, healing, and respect for human rights. Let Bhutan be a land of happiness, not separation, a beacon of reconciliation, not division. Now is the time for Bhutan to show courage, heal wounds, and reunite families. Tashi Delek.